Hey guys, Jason here, back here for my third update. It's the 17th of January today, so that means I'm on day 12. Which, yeah, I just could have crept up on me, I didn't realise I was that far through. Last time I gave you an update, I think I was on about day 5. So it's been about a week since, and I can happily say that since my last update, I feel a million times better. I've gotten through the low period, I'm now riding high. So today I want to give you an update, or I want to talk about what I went through, how I felt from the last time I spoke to you when I was feeling like crap, to where I am now, where I feel amazing. Give you a bit of a biology update, shall we say, what I've read and what I've learned from various professionals that can tell you a lot more about this than what I can, and just personally what I felt and how I got through it, what the challenges that I faced, and some hints and tips for anyone else that's feeling like that. So let's look at it from a scientific point of view. My body now is running off fat. I've starved it of sugar. It's got no short-term energy to run off. So all of a sudden, it's got to think to itself, "Crap, what do I got to do? How can I fuel myself?" And that's how I was feeling in my second update. And my body didn't know what to do. So it's now switched to burning fat. And I mean, luckily for me, there was quite a bit stored. So I'm feeding it a lot of fat. I'm feeding it a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of fat from nuts and avocados and obviously from the meat that I'm eating, and my body's burning it. And to me, what it feels like personally is that my energy is just so stable, because obviously it's not burnt as quickly as what sugar is. So for me, it feels like I wake up in the morning and I get to I'm not obviously jumping out of bed doing cartwheels, because not many people do. But once I'm awake, I hit a certain energy point, and I just stay there throughout the entire day. There are no peaks and troughs. My energy is just constant. And to me, it feels like my body is burning fat, which obviously takes a lot longer to burn. So it's just constantly churning through. It's like a boiler just running at the same temperature all day. It's like, you compare that to if we get fueling off sugar, it's like your boiler system's just going up and down, up and down. But for me, it just feels like it's totally constant. And words just can't describe it. It feels amazing. There's just no comparison between what I used to feel like 2 weeks ago before I started doing this and to where I am now. You feel wonderful. It's probably the best way to feel. You feel like your body is efficient, and then you kind of get this, it's, how like when you get into bad spirals and a bad thing leads to another action, which then promotes the other action, which just goes round and round and round. It's kind of the opposite. You feel good about what you're eating, and then your body feels good, and then you feel proud about the fact that you are treating your body so well, so it makes you feel even better. So when you get to that next meal, you're pumped and you're ready to go, and you start switching to that point where you look at all the junk food that you used to eat, and you're like, actually, no, I don't really want that, because you know that it will detract from how good you feel. So I'm at that stage at the moment. What I do know is that from last time I did it, I felt exactly this way, and once I got to about day 20, the motivation started really decreasing. Well, not decreasing, I started finding it really hard. So that's my goal, is to somehow keep feeling like this, and to keep that state of mind where I'm happy, or I get pleasure out of eating the good food, and I look at the bad food as in pain, as in like, I don't want to do that because I know the harm it's going to do. Well, not the harm, but I know it's got no benefit to me. So it's about, and for me, it's about making sure I keep that long-term focus. So it's that eliminating that short-term pleasure of eating junk food and focusing on the long-term gain that I'm going to make by continuing to eat this way. And by eating this way, I don't mean eating like a Whole30, because I can't do that, but eating in a controlled manner. So eating healthy food, healthy whole food in a controlled way. So if I let myself, I feel like I want some chocolate, I feel like not junk food, but if I feel like it's a Friday night and I want to eat something that, isn't necessarily great, I can, but I know in my heart, I know deep down that it's just a treat, it's a one-off, and I can shout myself that, basically, because I got enough credits in the bank. So one thing I do want to point out is our grocery bill has skyrocketed, and that's one thing a lot of people don't quite realize. The two things that are really noticeable is the amount of time you spend preparing. I mean, I'm getting home from work quite late sometimes, and you're just like, ugh, I don't really want to, but I've still got to go and get breakfast ready or lunch ready. And this is where doing it in a team really helps, because I'm lucky that my fiance will realise that I'm getting home late from work, I don't want to cook that, and I don't want to cook my breakfast, so she'll do it for me, or if she's making hers, she'll double up and make mine, and obviously vice versa, I'll make mine as well as making hers. So as a team, it's just so much easier. So if you've got that support network, you know, it makes your job a lot easier. I think I would really struggle if I was doing this by myself and I was getting home from work at like 11 o'clock at night, then had to prepare my lunch and prepare my breakfast, knowing I was getting up at 5:30 the next day to go to the gym, then off to work for another 8 hours. So that's another thing. But also our grocery bill, it's gone from about 80 to 90 quid a week up to a good 130, 140. It's just because we're spending so much more money on you know, we're trying to buy organic as well. Like if we're going to do it, we might as well do it properly. Quite often, you know, I'm eating so much more. Because what I used to do is I eat a lot of bread, and that would make me feel gross, so I wouldn't eat anything. But now I think it kind of feels like, because you're eating whole food, you're eating all this really good stuff, your body just wants more of it. It wants more vegetables, it wants more good organic meat. So you're just like, oh my god, 3 hours later you're hungry again. So you got to eat. So I find that I'm buying a lot more food throughout the week, which we never used to normally do, because we're just churning through the vegetables so quickly, which is good, I suppose. But summary, feel amazing. Just anyone that is looking at this, like, I can't describe how good it feels compared to what it was 2 weeks ago. Be ready though for your grocery bill to skyrocket, so just make sure you've budgeted that, or you're prepared to spend that money. Trust me, it's worth it. You know, if you've got a support network, if you've got someone that help you, make sure you bring them in, and just make sure you're planning your time, because you do need a lot of effort. I mean, I lose all Sunday afternoons. Sunday afternoons for me are cooking. And it's just the way it is, but it's worth it because you get to feel like you're feeling right now. So that's it for me. Day, crikey, I've forgotten what day it is. So it's the 17th, started on the 5th, so day 12. Halfway through essentially, or nearly halfway through, and this is what happened last year, sorry. So for my next update, this time last year, when I was about the 3rd week, that's when I started really struggling. So we'll see how I'm going next week. My focus for the next 7 days is to make sure is to keep looking ahead, keep my state of mind that I'm looking and focusing on the good food and the long-term pleasure, as opposed to focusing on what I'm missing out on. So we'll see how I go in a week's time, and I'll see you then. Cheers, bye.